Okay, Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh, everyone. Thank you for being with us today. So today we'll be having a short sharing session with Dr. Fiza and Dr. Khairil and myself. We'll be talking about a little bit on about AI-enabled PhD thesis. So for this session, we'll share a little bit of tips about what not to do and what to do for your thesis writing. And perhaps we can also learn from Dr. Khairil as well on using of Google Notebook LM. And if everything goes well as planned, I'll also share a little bit on Mendeley and Consensus. Both all these three AI apps basically will be very helpful for you to start on with your uh, PhD thesis writing. It will help you to move a little bit faster. Okay, so we'll start off with Dr. Fiza first. She will share a little bit on the common errors and solution on thesis writing. And then that will be followed with Dr. Kairil's Google Notebook LM sharing session. And then after that, it'll be me. Okay, so can we directly start, Dr. Fiza?
Or we can start. I'm just gonna share my screen. Is it there?
Not yet.
Not yet. Coming soon.
Okay, yes, it's here.
Right.
All right.
Okay. For the benefit, thank you, Dr. Sam. Assalamualaikum. I think for the benefit of myself as the speaker and also Dr. Sam, who is the Deputy Dean of our kuliah. And I'm also one of the faculty members at our Department of English Language. I think I would really love to know who is with us. I have Ala and Moana Ali. I would like to make it a little bit interactive, if you don't mind, because there's only two of you on screen. And I'd like to know, before I start, I'd like to know how are you, where are you at in your PhD journey? Which year? Is it your second year or first, as third year, or, if you don't mind, introduce yourselves, because I've never met you.
Okay, Assalamualaikum
Assalamualaikum.
warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.
Yeah,
Can you hear me?
who's speaking first? Moana?
Moana, yes, Moana.
Yeah, go
Yes,
ahead.
I'm Moana Juma Ahmad Ali. I'm from Tanzania. And yeah, I'm in case of the place I am now in my PhD thesis journey, I've just defended my proposal and I've been given some correction to make, and I'm working on them. So it was accepted already. So I'm working on some minor corrections so I can start the next stage.
How many more years to go?
This is the third year, I think.
You're in your third year, okay?
Yes,
So, what's your plan to finish on time? You've got 2 more years.
yes, I think I'll finish on time. I mean, to next year, I hope I can finish.
I'm actually looking at a silhouette of you, Moana. I don't see your face there.
You don't see my face?
No, I think it's blocked. I think something is blocking your face.
Now?
Yeah, hi. There you are. Okay, thank you.
You're welcome.
So, yes, inshallah, you're going to have a solid 2 years to work on your final lap. Is that what you mean?
Yes,
Okay, inshallah.
inshallah.
Thank you, Moana. How young are you, if I may ask?
I'm actually elder. I'm 48 this year.
Okay, alhamdulillah. All right. Thank you, Moana. Nice knowing you. And we've got Allah.
السلام عليكم ورحمة الله وبركاته.
Salam. Hi.
Hi, how are you? I'm
Good.
Ala Fitahi. I'm from Saudi Arabia.
Uh-huh.
I'm a PhD student in University at Malaysia,
Mm-hmm.
in accounting department. Actually, I'm in the second year of my PhD. I
Mm-hmm.
already passed my proposal defense and it accepted, Alhamdulillah.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm now in collecting data stage.
Who is your supervisor?
Dr.
Dr.
Mas,
from
Malaysia. She's Malaysian.
Okay, you're not from IIUM.
No, from University
I
of
see.
Malaya.
Okay, all right. It's
Yeah,
nice to
thank you.
that means this is not just IIUM students. Yes, Sam. Okay, thank you, Allah.
Okay, you're welcome.
How many more years to go? Through three, two?
I hope 2.5. I
Two and a half.
hope.
Wonderful.
Yeah. Thank
Okay.
you.
Thank you. We've got Hamad. Hamad, are you there? Is Hamad there? Who would like to go first? Hanif? Anybody here from IIUM first? I would like to know. You could go first. You could go next.
Assalamualaikum. Is my voice here?
Hi. Hi, Hanif. Welcome salam. Where are you now?
Uh, Wait, I have some technical problem here with my.
It's all right.
Excuse me.
Mm-hmm.
Alright, Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. My name is Muhammad bin Naim, and I'm currently doing my PhD in IIUM, Pagoh campus, with Dr. Ola and Khalid Shutaibi.
Mm-hmm.
Last 2 weeks or last 3 weeks, I have presented my proposal but rejected.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm currently doing my correction to redefend and resubmit everything.
Okay. So you have 2.5 more years.
I'm targeting for 2 years at least.
2 years. Okay. Right. Inshallah. Okay. Thank you. Anyone would like to go next from IIUM? Quick one. We've got Hamis. Hamis Singhu, can you hear me? Where are you from?
Yes, I can hear you. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.
Waalaikum salam. How are you?
My name is Khamis Salum Singhu. I'm from Tanzania.
Mm-hmm.
I have defended my proposal, and my supervisor is Dr. Rafida.
Okay.
Results have come, and I have successfully passed with the minor corrections. I have already submitted the corrections. So, yeah.
Okay. So you are targeting in 2 years' time?
Hopefully, yeah.
Okay.
Hopefully.
All right. Hopefully. Okay. Thank you. We've got
No
Hala.
problem.
Hala here.
Yes, I'm Hala from Computer Science College in UM.
Right.
I'm from Saudi Arabia.
Mm-hmm.
I have defended my proposal this last Friday. I'm waiting for the result.
Wonderful. Inshallah. So
Inshallah.
how many more years?
Let's say 2 years or less.
Okay, yes, that's the
Okay.
spirit. Okay, yes, we try to do that.
Okay.
It's not impossible, guys. Because what Dr. Sam and Dr. Khairul will share with you later on, the powers of AI. But don't let that sort of distract you from the integrity part of it. Okay, so I believe Dr. K and Dr. Sam will enlighten us later on that. Okay, we've got
Yeah,
Anif.
as I see, it's a very big issue, and we're not
Yeah.
confident enough to use AI tools, and we don't know what is the limit to use it.
I suppose in UM they've got to have some disclaimers there in your PhD thesis.
Yeah, I mean for our use.
Right.
How far can we go like
That's
this?
interesting. Okay,
Yes.
thank you. We've got Anis. Anis. Hi, Anis. Oh, we've got Dr. Kamal. Hello, Dr. Kamal. Long time no see.
السلام عليكم دكتور كيف الحال؟
Good salam. I'm
Yes,
good.
I'm trying to join in, but I think there is an issue in the internet. How are you, doctor?
I'm good, thank you for joining me all the way from.
Yes, I'm in Palestine. Yes,
Wow.
I've got the link. I think 1 week. I will less than 1 week. I think from one student or from
Right.
one colleague
For
in
you,
Libya.
for your student.
She's,
Yes, I
but now I
see.
try to join. But unfortunately, I have a meeting at 10, so
No
I
worries.
shall try to do it, inshallah, till 10, and I can see, inshallah.
Thank
Jazakallah
you.
khair, doctor, for that one.
Nice meeting
It's
you
a very
again.
good topic. The title, attract has attracted me to join in,
Okay.
and the speakers also.
Okay. You can always chip in. You're more experienced than all of us.
MashaAllah, doctor, inshallah. Jazakallah khair, doctor.
Thank you. Thank you. We've got a lot, so I'm gonna spread it out. Okay, guys, I'm gonna spread it out. I'm gonna start on my sharing. I'm gonna spread it out. You'll get your chance to introduce yourself in between. All right. So we've got Dr. K here. Hi, K. All right. So let me start with a reassurance and a warning. Okay, guys. Most PhD thesis, or the ones that I've examined, are all interesting. They are all well written. I've got experiences whereby there was a viva in another university that I was able to be invited as a viewer, in which the PhD thesis was entirely written by using AI, and the candidate couldn't answer. Okay, worst case scenario. All right, but today we're not looking at viva, we're looking at the written part, the thesis. So all of the theses are quite really clearly being hard worked, but they still receive major corrections. Yeah, some corrections, and the corrections, not because the topic is weak, but because the argument is not defensible. So what is it that we're going to share with you today is, especially what I'm sharing with you today is, I'm not here to tell you how to write or to teach you the research methodology course. Okay, I'm here to show you how examiners read, where we slow down, and where we become interested, as in, wow, this is interesting, and where we start writing our comments. So everything today is based on real examiner reports that I've seen and done, and also the Viva decisions. So these are not merely advice, but these are real experiences. So Dr. Sam gave me this title, or sort of, yeah. So I moved along the title, Improving Doctoral Thesis Errors and Solutions. So I'm Dr. Fiza. I'm from the Department of English Language of the Kulia of Sustainable Tourism and Contemporary Languages, IUM. So today I'm going to make it practical. I'll show you the common errors and that trigger our comments, and the solutions that immediately improve your thesis. Now, what I can say is that can you just type in the chat box which part of the thesis writing worries you the most? Can you just type in one word in the chat box? Which part of the thesis worries you the most? Worries you the most? Is it the problem statement? Is it the literature? Is it the RQs, methods, findings, discussion, or the contribution part? Which ones? You could drop your comments there. Later, Dr. Sam, you could help me read it, because I've got two screens and
Sure,
multiple
sure.
overlaps.
No problem.
Yeah, as you could scroll Okay, just interject me whenever, yeah,
So
Sam?
we've got methods, literature review,
Mm,
2 methods,
yeah. All right.
contribution,
Interesting. Okay, lovely.
literature, findings as well. Okay.
Findings. Okay. So, okay, but guys, like the comic on my screen shows, you've got coffee. Okay, so that will help you in a way. Just kidding. All right, a little bit of disclaimer, okay, Dr. Sam, and everybody here. The points that I'm sharing today would reflect the most common issues that I've personally observed as a PhD examiner. Examiner, bear in mind, not supervisor, because as supervisors, we can see it. We can tell our students this is something that you need to improve, but sometimes the students come back showing nothing being improved. I see this all the time. It's either the students are overwhelmed or something, I'm not sure, but the errors keep occurring. So what happens is that sometimes towards the end, the supervisors think that that is the minimum requirement. The student has satisfied minimal requirement to submit, but there are more to be done. Okay, so many reasons why they let the student submit, but as an examiner, I am able to see it in a different lens. As a supervisor, I may not be able to see it, and the students may not be able to commit to those errors. But as an examiner, these are the frequently raised areas in discussions with other examiners as well. So my sharing today is just a guidance, not a single authoritative source for thesis writing. So as you know it, there's no excuse. There's so much references out there, resources on PhD thesis writing, and it's your responsibility to access those things and learn from them independently. Yeah, your supervisor can only do so much, but don't let it become until the end of the line whereby the examiner comments come in and there you have it. And then you start to realize, alamak, in Malaysian slang, yeah? My supervisor said that and I didn't do it. Okay? So that's no excuse for you to not go on. All right. Just to warm up, okay, guys? Have a read on this screen of mine. Is it coming out? Examiner comment.
Yes, it is clear.
Yeah, everybody just read that comment on your own. So it says, the problem is mentioned broadly, but the justification is weak as it lacks precise, strong empirical support. So the question is, do you think this is going to be a minor or a major problem in terms of examiners' decisions? Which chapter is this actually about? You can just speak on your mic. It's fine. Who thinks this is a minor? Who thinks this is a major problem issue when you have this kind of comment? And this is the final lap, yeah, not the proposal defense anymore. This is the final after submission. Sam, could you read them out if they've actually said something?
It's a major.
Mm-hmm.
How much he can't see it?
Major problem. Which chapter is this actually about? Anybody? This is from chapter 1, the problem statement. So,
First one.
yes. So, although
I'm sorry, Professor, we cannot see. We cannot see what has been written has been displayed.
Oh, really? Can you see, Sam?
Yes,
Yeah,
I think you have
I
to
can't
select
see.
the tab, the one above. There's 2 different tabs, so you have to select the second one. Otherwise, you'll be looking at the participants rather than
You're
screen.
you're talking to the student, right?
Yes, right.
Okay. Right. I hope you're able to check out what Dr. Sam has just suggested just now. For the rest of you, I hope you can see it on screen. Do a thumbs up
Yes.
whenever.
Okay, good.
Okay.
Yes, we can see.
Okay, so first things first, the key message that I'm trying to give out here is where the problem is mentioned broadly or specifically is in the problem statement in chapter 1. Okay, but the key message that I'm trying to say here is that examiners read across chapters, not in isolation. What does that mean? That means that from chapter 1 till the end, there is always a link to what you're trying to solve, either from the RQs of that supports the problem statement and etc. So I'll go to the point where this comes in later. All right. Now, if you have questions, you can put it in the chat box. All right, or interject whenever. Okay. Now, not surprisingly, the number one first thing that, or the most often thing that examiners comment would be the problem statement. This is the most expensive paragraph in your thesis, guys, the most expensive. Okay? The thing that the examiner will say, where is the problem? I don't see the problem. Okay? So students think that if the topic is relevant, the problem will be obvious. You want the examiner to think on his own. No, the examiners want you to write it out for them. Don't keep them guessing. So where is it? Where is it? Finding between paragraphs and sentences. It needs to be clearly written and very simple language, not bombastic journal article scopus level kind of language. That's after you've sort of compressed your findings and PhD into topics where you could spread them out in journal articles and use those kind of journal article like level kind of language. This is for layman reading. So anyone who's from biology, microbiology, or any other fields, when they read your work, it's very simply said. So what examiners actually say would be the problem is over-explained, but it lacks precise empirical support. So what this means is that your claims rely on assumptions without referencing existing studies. An example that I can snap out from the thesis that I've read would be this one. If you could take a look at this example, advertisements may be culturally inappropriate and not well received by viewers, creating discomfort and dislike towards products. Now, we flag this as a biased assumption and not an evidence, because this was not supported by any, if I can still remember, this was not supported by any reports or any journal articles or research. So this would be something that examiners reject because it sounds intuitive. There's no data, there's no citation, and researcher is just masquerading that as a fact or something. So what we want is that it must be contextual facts. It has scholarly evidence. It has an explicit gap, and it is researchable. So this one is vague. It has no boundaries. There's no demonstration of searching. So a good revised version would be this one. Recent audience reception studies in South Asian advertising context show increasing sensitivity towards gendered visual representations. We've got some reference there going on. However, empirical evidence examining how Pakistani women interpret cultural acceptability in televised print advertisements remain limited. Okay, limited. Now, again, limitation, when you say limitation, you are very specific here. It says examining how women interpret cultural, okay, it's very specific. You can't just simply say research in because you're adopting a qualitative approach. Research in qualitative measures are limited. You cannot say that. Limitation can also be a reason why it's not a problem at all to start with. Yeah. So be sure that you have proof to rely on where your problem exists and where those problems come from. Yeah, those problems come from. So once the problem is defensible, your literature review must earn that. Okay? Once your problem is defensible, inshallah, alhamdulillah, all of you have passed your proposal defense. That means the problem statements were very clear. So your literature review must be there to support that. Okay? So something for you to consistently improve in your writing would be, what proof do I currently rely on that my problem exists, and where does it come from? So you've got to make sure that you keep updating your reading, especially when you're doing your PhD thesis for 4 years. So new problems surface, reports, literature. So you keep on updating that chapter or that part. Yeah. Okay. If you're good with that, I'll go to the next one. Do a thumbs up if you're good with that. Or that if there are any questions, you could just interject anyway. So examiners must want to look at problem statement that is defensible, not just interesting. Okay. Now somebody said literature review is your problem area, or rather challenging area. Okay. So bear in mind that literature review does not mean that you report everything. Coverage is not contribution. If you cover everything, but you don't analytically use it towards answering your RQs. So I mentioned here, many students summarize numerous studies and cite prominent names, believing this demonstrates a thorough research. However, examiners look for critical synthesis. So what do I mean by critical synthesis? And I know a lot of you know this already. A good rule of thumb, or rather tip for all of you, is like what I did when I did my PhD. I was scouring the library and sitting there for hours reading through all kinds of PhD theses in the library. And I was studying the style, the tone, the academic style of writing. I'm not going to touch on writing in this session, in this whole session, because that's going to be another session like this, just on how to write, the language use and all that. But this is how I understood what literature review looked like, the critical synthesis. So the critical synthesis means here you need studies. You need to group studies. You don't just simply name drop. You've got to cite them and compare and evaluate. And it says here, the examiner says the literature review mostly summarizes rather than critiques. You got to critique and give your take on them. Compare and contrast what's lacking, what's wrong, compared to other studies. There's no clear indication which references are empirical studies. The gap identification is weak, and theoretical discussions rely too heavily on classic works without integrating recent research. Now, here again, yeah, make sure that it is balanced. All right. So according to what my experience looking at this, how do I say this? How does the literature review force your study to exist? That's the question that I would ask all of you. How does your literature review force your study to exist? So you must, at the end of the day, your literature review would answer the question of, so what? So what? What's missing? Therefore, dot, dot, dot. Yeah, so we need that answer. If there's no synthesis, there's no examination of what's good, what's not good, yeah, merely listing studies one by one, ignoring the methods. You didn't what do you call this? You didn't compare the methods used, you didn't compare the findings, you and all that. That would be problematic. Okay, so what you must do is compare studies by its purpose. What was the purpose of objectives of those studies? Compare and contrast the methods used and the findings. And that's where your gap is. You're filling in the gap. And this is where you demonstrate what past studies could not do and why your study needs to exist. All right, consistently look at that in your literature review. Somebody said to me, and I'm sure you're feeling it too. What was your PhD experience like? It's like going to hell and coming back and going back to hell and coming back out and going back to okay. Somebody said that to me long time ago. Yes, it's like a never-ending search for knowledge. The more you dig deeper, the deeper you go. Yeah. There's no end to the rabbit hole. Yeah. Okay. Make sure that you use recent studies. Complete this sentence for me, guys. If your literature is strong, your research questions should complete that sentence for me. If my literature is strong, my research questions should. What's a good answer to that? Can Sam read that from the chat box if there's anything?
Clear, novel.
Okay. Thank you. It's as simply as if your literature is strong, guys, your research questions should just snap into place. It makes sense. Examiners see the narrative there going on. Okay, I'm starting to see the constructs being explained. It should just snap into place. Okay, thank you very much. Any other things that they've commented in the chat box, Sam, as I go along? You could just read them out for me.
Concise.
Your research question should just make sense. Okay. Now, anybody said about research questions, the things that they were problematic. They felt quite problematic research questions. Now, misalignment of research questions to your methodology and to your research instruments will cost you months and months of revision. So it shouldn't be after the examiner has commented. It should be strangled, literally, and corrected before you submit, yeah? So here, your research questions, as you know it, you've got clear, answerable study goals, and it's supported by the methodology, the matching to match each of the research question, and your data analysis, the techniques to test those research questions, to support the instrument to support the research question should all be in that triangle. Yeah, I'm not talking about triangulation. It supports one another. Yeah. So what examiners usually comment, the RQs do not align with the ROs. You've got research objectives and research questions, right? They're not aligned. Now, this is too late to be noticed after examination, yeah? So hopefully we do not see this anymore. It would be sad, okay? And this would really need you to scrutinize. RQs, the how questions. When you have how questions in your RQs, you're treating it descriptively. So why this hurts? why examiners get really angry if your how questions are being answered descriptively, because it shows conceptual confusion. You're confusing the how or the what and the why. So examiners would want to see if you use RQ verbs or the WH questions like what. Now, what would definitely entail descriptive answers. Yeah. How would definitely want examiners want to see a process or the mechanism of how you did it. Yeah, how a certain result was gathered and answered. All right, and why would need you to explain it based on your findings and theory. So it also suggests shallow analysis if you don't know your how to structure your RQs and support that with the actual evidence. And really, when it comes to the examiner's level already, there was one examiner, external examiner, upon checking, and convening with the internal panel, said that there was an experience whereby the external was from overseas, I think from one of the native English countries. Now, he mentioned that this thesis is a mockery of my contribution as an external examiner. You should not let this kind of work be submitted for examination. That particular, it didn't occur in IIUM, by the way. No, it was somewhere else. That particular student almost, I think, had to do it all over again. Yeah, it costed everybody a lot of embarrassment. I wouldn't want to divulge anymore, but here is where your external examiners, people from with so much experience examining, looking at RQs, simple mistakes like RQs do not match the findings. Yeah, so your examiners are really prominent people. So be honest about what your study does not test, because it undermines the examiner's confidence in marking your work, and also it undermines their capabilities. And I'm sure if there are supervisors in here who's experienced that examination process, when you see that kind of, yes, Sam?
Sorry, I just want to ask, how many objectives are required for one research question?
For one research question,
What
how
would
many
be the good number?
A good number, okay. Well, the ones that I often see would be they've got, if there's triangulation involved, yeah, they've got a mixed method, right? So they lay it out from, I think I've seen 6 research objectives, and it's mapped to 6 RQs. It can be at PhD level, it can be 4 to 6. Yeah, but it also depends on the problem that you're looking into. Yeah, qualitative would probably be different if you're doing but of course at PhD level you have to do mixed methods. So in my own experience, mine was actually about 6. Yeah. Okay.
Okay,
So
thank you.
it depends on the problem that you're trying to solve there, and what is it that you're looking for. That's where your research question should not be something that is too late towards submission already, that external examiners and internal examiners are actually seeing, oh, there's still errors in RQs. Okay. So once your RQs are aligned, your theory should stop being just a decorative thing. It should work. It should support your RQs. So an example here would be, how do advertisements influence effectiveness? So this was a simple RQ at a PhD level examination. So we would want to see, how do women interpret specific linguistic and visual elements as culturally acceptable or objectionable? So this has to do with your objectives of the study. Of course, clearly this study was done on something to do with advertisements, yeah? So we would want to see the exact thing that you're looking for and in what context, and the theory that's linked to it. Again, this is not a research methodology course. I'm sharing with you examiners' comments. You can just tell me if there's questions in the chat box. Yeah, Sam?
Okay, sure.
Yeah. So guys, for each theory, you should be able to answer which RQ it supports, which construct it helps to define, and then what coding categories or variables come from it. Yeah, for each theory that you pluck or rather support in your literature review just now. So everybody, if I ask you, how exactly did your theory help you analyze your data? Let's say you take something from language, you take something from genre analysis. How exactly did genre analysis theory by Bhatia help you analyze your data? Could you answer that in one sentence during the Viva? So it should be very transparent in your writing as well. Okay? All right. So that's where your literature review should support whatever that you've mentioned in the RQ, the constructs that you mentioned in your RQ. Okay? All right. Now, the next one would be, again, it has to do with your theory and your conceptual framework. Let's not just do name dropping. Okay? Not name drop. This is one of the things that we noticed during examination. I'm going to go through quickly, yeah? Name dropping means you're just putting in all the names. Yeah. But there's no explanation of those theory that you cited anywhere. Okay. So here examiners will say the application of theories should be more explicitly linked to the RQs and the methodology. It is unclear how theories are operationalized. So what do you do? What you must do is you must state which theory informs which RQ. Now this is where you explain it in the literature review. My only advice is check out those PhD theses in your library. Spend time looking at how this style of writing is done. Yeah? Which construct is analyzed using which concept. And you've got to make sure that if the examiner asks how exactly this theory helped analyze your data, you could answer that. Okay, in one question. Now, next one, quickly. Methodology. Somebody said methodology. Okay. I see this all the time. Creswell is so popular that we see that in all research methodology chapter. Yeah, his name is so popular. So the biggest myth is that citing Creswell automatically you think it validates your choices. No. Okay. So for example, if you just mention the thesis, the examiner said the thesis does not justify why convergent model was chosen over other mixed methods design. Sampling strategy needs stronger justification. So if you can see here, there is no comparison of methodology. What you must mention here is actually, look down here, guys, down here in the pink box, would be something like this. A convergent mixed methods design was selected over an explanatory sequential design. This is for quantitative, okay? Research design, because the study aimed to compare audience perceptions across quantitative trends and qualitative interpretation simultaneously, rather than using one phase to explain the other. So you've got to explain it for the examiner. Simply said, treat the examiners as a child. You've got to explain it in a way that is very detailed and simple and clear. So examiners simply want to see justification by contrast. You're contrasting your method to another kind of method. And this can be easily seen also in your literature review. You've already compared and contrasted the methodology by those studies. So that helps a lot. Okay, so explain why this design and not others. Why this sample? Yeah. Justify your sampling approach and why this instrument. Now again, justify. A lot of the times, you're not able, students fail to justify. They go about explaining in a roundabout manner, but the point is not there. So that is very important as well. Okay. Now, next one. I'm going like a choo-choo train. Okay. Findings and discussion. Somebody says findings and discussion as a problem as well. This is the best chapter, I can tell you. When you get to this chapter, this is the easiest and the most fun to write, because especially if you look at this results, the qualitative plus quantitative, it's so much fun starting to see evidence coming up and where it supports your theory and conceptual framework. Yeah. So this is the fun part. So what do? You don't just describe. Don't describe and do statements. Yeah. Statements after statement describing. There's no critical analysis there. That's not doctoral level, guys. Examiners want to see doctorateness of your thinking. Okay. So what do? You prioritize key findings. Look at the key findings first. Don't just simply report everything, but there's no anchor to it. Yeah? Anchor it to your RQs. And then you synthesize the quantitative and the qualitative data with theoretical frameworks. All right? This is where the discussion happens. And thirdly, you interpret, you don't narrate. So you analyze the findings, what findings mean theoretically and practically. And I give you an example of examiner's comments, what I mean by these 3 points. Examiner said something like this: findings are too descriptive and lack synthesis. So he wants synthesis. It's just too descriptive and long-winded. Okay. ANOVA is mentioned, but significance reporting is missing. Again, yeah, what does it mean? So what? Interview data lacks depth and introspection. When you do interview at PhD level, it is an in-depth interview. It's not a yes and no. If you look at your interview data and you use that excerpts as evidence for your thematic analysis, for instance, check if those responses cannot be simply a yes and no. What I'm trying to say is that when you take that excerpts out, the excerpt works towards answering your RQ. It is not just a simple paragraph and you think it's a lot of answers there, but when you really look into that paragraph of what the person said, the interviewer said, it's just jumbled up going here and there, but there's no point, no theme that supports your theme, your coding. It's zero. It lacks depth. All right. So make sure you are very analytical when it comes to this. every sentence has a citation, but there is no critical discussion. You cite, you support, but what did you do with it? Yeah, you didn't describe your synthesize or rather analyze your findings against past research. Okay, so findings are what you found, and the discussion part is what it means. What does it mean? Why it matters? Go back to the RQs, yeah? If ANOVA is used, examiners expect your p-values, your significance stated. You interpret those tables. What does it mean? The higher the motivation, the higher the higher the attitude or willingness to communicate, whatever. Yeah. For qualitative interviews, you must report the whys and the how, not just surface responses. All right? Okay. Now, even with strong findings, guys, your thesis can fail at the end if it claims, your claims are bigger than your evidence. So what does that mean? Do not overclaim. That would be it's perception based. Do not overclaim. All right. I go on to the next one. Okay, Sam? Interject whenever.
Okay.
I'm almost till the end. Claims, contributions, and limitation. This is where I said just now, overclaiming can be fatal. You write so much, it has gone to 400 pages. Just kidding, okay? There's probably word limits, yeah, for different kinds of universities, yeah, and also how many pages and all sorts. So there's limitations there. Why? We want conciseness, but at the same time, we want to see your understanding of it. So remember, everybody, a PhD, I know you know this, PhD work is just for examiners to see that you can do research independently later on. It doesn't claim that you'll be an expert in it, not just yet. Yeah, not just yet. Okay, what examiners commented on this part is claims about sales impact are not proven in the study. Findings are based on self-reported perceptions rather than actual impact. The study does not refine or challenge existing theories explicitly. So this study was about, it's very much qualitative, I remember. But one of the claims was that it was talking about impact towards sales, towards the advertising has impact towards sales. So that was not the point of the study. Yeah, so we mentioned that in the report, and the student must sort of delete that where it mentions impact, because it's not measured in the RQ. You've got to measure impact by, let's say, sales or whatever. So be careful when you make claims like this. So how do you not make those kind of claims? You look at your contribution of your study. Be specific about your contributions and be honest about your scopes and limits. Okay. Strong contributions are specific, evidence-based, and acknowledge boundaries. Now, guys, a PhD work is judged on the quality of its boundaries as much as its discoveries. Can you understand that? That means if it has boundaries, that is also a research. Yeah, you found a limitation there. So don't be scared of being honest about it. Don't hide that limitation when it's pretty obvious. Okay, so if you didn't measure impact, don't claim impact. All right. So what do I mean by contribution? Make sure if it's conceptual, if your contribution is conceptual, what theoretical understanding have you advanced? What theories have you advanced? You mentioned that. Okay. If it's contextual, what was your setting of that research revealed? What did it reveal about your specific setting or sample or population? So that's your contribution. Methodological, what did your approach improve from the past studies? Okay, so again, I repeat, claiming, promising, overclaiming are is something that we do not want. And this is very important because it can lead to a mismatch in terms of your argument across your whole thesis. At the end, you claim this, but you never said that at the beginning. Okay, so a lot of time when we examine PhD thesis, we see that the narrative from the beginning is missing at the end. Yeah? You've got the actors here, the constructs, and the scenarios, and the background, and suddenly you reach to the climax of the action and everything, and then at the end, where you have the ending, there's no repetition of or reminding of that story. Now, a PhD thesis must present one unified argument, not separate documents. Okay, this one you know. Examiners assess the coherence across chapters and not individual chapters. Okay, so this is your thesis spine. Every chapter must strengthen the central argument. So from the gap goes to the research questions, the methods, the findings, and your claims. Your claims of what it means. So when your coherence across all chapters, yeah, the points are strong, the reading part, the examiner reads it with confidence. It's a pleasure to read your thesis. It's pleasurable. It's not something where you hear the external examiner saying something like, this should not be allowed for a PhD submission. And that is something that the university panel would not want to hear from any external. Okay, the reading for the external must be a very coherent, effortless, and pleasurable reading. So that's what I can say. So what you have to do is you build a strong coherence. Each chapter should advance your argument. References in your discussion should connect back to your literature review. You know that. Methods should clearly address the gaps you identified. And most importantly, read your thesis as an examiner would. Does each chapter logically follow the previous ones? Yeah. If I open chapter 4, can I clearly see how it answers chapter 1? Something like that. Okay? Almost there, almost there. So my advice to all of you, okay, is think like an examiner early. Okay? Think like an examiner early. At your stage now, at every stage now, you should always question your sentences. Can I prove this? How do I justify this statement? Every sentence would need to be justified because your examiner will write something like this. Cite, reference to justify. Who said this? They always comment like that. Does this chapter prepare the next one? Would another scholar make the same methodological choices if they replicated your study, and why? Is it clear enough for another researcher to replicate my study and will find similar findings? Yeah. Am I analyzing or just reporting? So you've got to think like this. Plenty of resources out there, guys. Plenty of resources you could look at. So a thesis is not judged by how much you know, but how convincingly you argue, justify, interpret what you did. I like this cartoon, by the way. Someone already did it. No. Yeah. someone may have already did it, cite that reference. I remember I had to cite one reference that came out the year that I had to submit. I cited it. Why? It shows urgency, relevance, and your critical sense of awareness of what's happening. Cite it. Yeah, so that shows, oh, your topic is relevant. Doesn't mean that somebody did it, that your topic is irrelevant. No, your topic has an argument. Okay, so last but not least, alignment is missing. Your claims are bigger than your evidence. So take action now. So go back and think hard. What is the one section that I now realize needs serious rethinking? One section. I'm not talking about a chapter, one section. So what do? Review your evidence, check alignment again, and test your coherence. Does your thesis tell a one unified story? But don't go and rewrite everything tonight. Go back and tighten the logic spine just now. That's the fastest way to reduce major corrections. Yeah? Okay, so that's it, Sam. Thank you very much. I hope that was helpful.
Okay, great.
I promise it's not a research methodology course.
Okay,
And
thank you, Dr. Fiza.
I did not include the language part of it because that's a lot of
Maybe we can have another session for that one.
probably. Yeah. Thank you very
Okay,
much.
in the near future soon.
Okay.
Okay, I think Dr. Fiza covered a lot of areas which are considered important, how all the chapters are connected and in coherence with each other. Okay, let's now move on to Dr. Khairil. I think we'll just push the questions at the later part of this session, yeah? Dr. Fiza? Okay. All right. Dr. K, can you share your screen and you can start whenever you are ready?
All right, okay, Assalamualaikum. Thank you very much, Dr. Sam. Assalamualaikum, everyone. So, I am going to, how am I going to use this? Application windows, I think, no. Actually, okay, never mind. I think I'm just going to share my screen. Can you all hear me?
Yes, yes.
Okay, all right. So, so this is what I'm going to do. Okay, I'm just with content only. I'm going to share with you all my windows. Okay, you all can see my now what I'm going to do. Okay, for your information, okay, I don't have any PowerPoint like Dr. Pizza. I think this is more like a hands-on activity for you all. And I would like to know, okay, because the topic given to me is about Notebook LM, Google Notebook LM. Perhaps in the chat box, how many of you have actually used Notebook LM? Are you guys familiar with Notebook LM or not?
So far we have one yes, not yet one. What about the rest? Not really. Hanif, never. For Moana?
Sometimes. Okay, all right.
Sometimes. Okay.
Okay, meaning that I think some of you have ideas about how to use the AI, how to use Notebook LM, and I think that Notebook LM is such a fantastic tool. Okay, remember that this is what I always tell my student. I have no issue with my student using AI. In fact, I encourage them to use AI because I personally believe that this is given to us. Allah has made someone genius to come up with this kind of tool. And well, why not we just make use of the tool given to us? And I think it's also very important to always remember that these are tools. Okay, at the end of the day, these are the tools, and we are the one with the brain, and we must use our brain to do the thinking. Okay, always treat any AI as a tool rather than that is what you really do with it. Okay, don't at the end of the day, you must always do your thinking. Okay, now to start first, you can see on your screen, I think this is my window, my Google window. Okay, so all of you have the university email, remember? So make sure that you log in, if you're on the right side, on the right top. Okay, you can see that this is my credential, meaning that I have logged into my Google account. Okay, make sure that you log into your student account as well here, and then you click on the 9 buttons on the right next to your photo, the Google Apps. Okay, you click on that, and then you scroll all the way down. You will find this one, Notebook LM. Okay, the Notebook LM here, you click on that, it will take you to the Notebook LM. You can see that I have done a few research using this. Now, if you can go straight away to do the create a new notebook. Okay, if you haven't done that, you have it blank. Okay, and this is where you have all of this is where you upload. Okay, before we go into this one, I want to introduce first what is Notebook LM. Notebook LM is an AI where it can help you to read all the materials that you have. Okay, meaning that a prerequisite before you use Notebook LM is that you must already have your papers. Okay, you go to Google Scholars, you find papers that are relevant to your topic. Okay, you make sure that you group them in different folder or for different topic. Make sure that it is actually very tight. You have to remember the one key important aspect of using AI, especially like Notebook LM, is that we call it GIGO, garbage in, garbage out, meaning that you have to make sure that whatever that you put in are of good quality. Okay, it's always important that you check the paper that you download. You don't just simply download the papers that you get, whatever being suggested to you by Google Scholar. You must check the paper first, whether that's the paper relevant to you or not. Okay, often enough, we have found a lot of papers. Dr. Pizza talk about the alignment between the RORQ to the methodology to the analysis. Okay, we have found papers that they talk about. Okay, these are the RO, these are the objective, these are the research questions, and then you look at the methodology doesn't fit into the RO, RQ, and then when they talk about the result they put in the paper actually doesn't answer their own RO, RQ. Okay, so that's problematic paper. So you make sure that you read the paper first. Okay, remember, garbage in, garbage out. Whatever that you put into the Notebook LM, they will analyze garbage and then you will get garbage results. So you don't want that to happen. Okay, so Notebook LM, they will help you to read all the papers. When I was doing my PhD, my lead supervisor, he said to me, Khairil, go and read 100 papers. So I went and read 100 papers. But then I didn't know what exactly I'm looking for. I do not know what exactly that I'm going to do with all this information that I got from the 100 papers. Okay, so yeah, it was back then. Okay, it was like what, almost 10 years ago now. Okay, and this kind of notebook LM, this kind of AI will help you actually. Okay, it will help you to actually analyze and look it. Sometimes you have question and you remember you read it somewhere, but you cannot locate the paper. Like Dr. Fiza always mentioned just now, like you have you claim something, but your evidence is not there. You want to support your claim. Okay, and you know that you have read somewhere, but where is it? Where is it? You cannot find it. So you make use of this kind of AI. You can ask questions based on the papers that you have. Okay, maybe sometimes maybe you just need you support your claim. You say you want to claim something. Okay, but you need the support. Okay, so you just ask the Notebook LM to actually to look up for the paper or for the phrase, the exact phrase, so that you can have direct quotation. Okay, from which paper that talk about this and that, and then they will give you that. It will help you tremendously. Okay, especially when you in your literature review. Okay, especially in your discussion later on. All right. So now, I have covered a little bit on the background of what is Notebook LM. So first of all, when you open your Notebook LM, So you will come to this page. Okay, you create the notebook here. All right, so you can start to add on. Okay, so from here, what you can do is that you open your papers. Okay, on the, I think you can see that this is a one folder that I have on the feed forward in AFL, assessment for learning. This is my area actually. Okay, so these are all papers that I have, okay, on this topic. So the purpose of today's workshop, I'm going to make use of this paper. So you take all of it and then you just bring it over, okay, and then you put it into this. Okay, they will upload all a story. They're opening it instead of, I think I got it wrong. Wait, I have to close everything first. Sorry. So this is, yeah, another thing about Notebook LM. I'm sure maybe you have read or you have actually came across uh what I was saying, Chat PDF. You have Chat GPT, and then there's a Chat PDF. In Chat PDF, you can upload one PDF only, and then you can ask question based on that PDF. For Notebook LM, okay, for Notebook LM, you can upload up to 50 PDF, okay, 50 papers. You look up for 50 papers and then you can upload it here. So just now I have uploaded the papers. Now it's actually uploading. Okay, and then from here, there are so many things that you can use. Okay, some of you mentioned something that you really not confident about is about the literature review. So you can make use of this Notebook LM for your literature review as well. Okay, now for the purpose of sorry. Okay, so how do I remove this thing from my top? Okay. All right, so this is something that I have done previously. This is actually for my FYP student that I have done with my student. So I have uploaded 49 papers here. Okay, so these are the chat that I have done so far. Okay, so sorry, it's still like still loading. It will take a while actually, depending on your internet connection. It will take a while. Okay, and because it's not only uploading, but it will also actually analyze the paper that you have uploaded. Okay, I think I want to skip this first for a moment. So this is something that I have done previously with my final year student. So I have uploaded 49 papers for this one. Okay, this one is the SCOF, the Student Conceptions of Feedback. This is my research area as well. Okay, and if you look into this one, on the left side here, you can see all the papers that you have uploaded. And remember, I told you just now, you can upload up to 50 PDF, 50 papers. Okay, you can upload one and then you can always make use of it. For example, maybe you want to focus on certain papers, maybe just one paper, you can always untick all sources and then you can just focus on one. So for example, this is actually the instrument. So I can ask question based on the instrument alone. Okay, or maybe I just want to have literature review, so I can tick all of it. Okay, and you can ask questions. Okay, the answer given will be based on the resources that you put in. Remember, we talked about garbage in, garbage out. Okay, so they will give answer based on the papers that you have. It is not like Gemini, it is not like ChatGPT, where they will sort of like recreate information. They give you, they will just make up some citation, quotation, and then when you check whether the reference are correct or not, whether the reference actually existing or not, and then you found that it's not existing, it's not there. Okay, so they make it up. Okay, but for Chat PDF, Chat PDF, for Notebook LM, whatever they give you will be based on the papers that you upload. So you can say that it is a legit response given by the AI. Okay, so once you have uploaded, okay, look at here. This is for farming for my previous with my student. So I have 49 sources, and then they will give you some kind of like brief one paragraph. What are the papers about? Again, you must have a focus. Sometimes when you have your research, there are a few elements, different elements that come together, right or not? Okay, for example, maybe you are looking at ESP, English for specific purposes, and you are actually looking at English for tourism. So you have two different elements, which is one is ESP, another one is tourism. So you can actually create two different notebook. One of these called a notebook. Okay, so one notebook on the ESP, another notebook on the tourism topic. So you have 100 papers, different papers there. So you can have discussion. Once you have done with the discussion, you can save it. Okay, you can take a look at this one. The summary here, you can copy it into your own document, a Word document, for example, and then you can upload it in a different notebook, and then you can combine the two. Okay, this is how powerful the notebook LM that you can use. Okay, and and of course, before we go into the question, you can ask the AI, the notebook LM. So I want you to take a look at this part studio on the right side. Okay, the studio part. See, this is very important. You can use it to help you to study. Maybe you want to you don't really have, you are busy, you don't really have time to actually listen to it. The only time that you may have to read papers are actually while you're waiting at the airport, or maybe while you are traveling to work, you want to listen to it, so you can have the podcast. So this is a podcast. Okay, so it can turn into a podcast. And one good thing about the podcast is that, okay, I'm actually running the podcast here. So is that the other one still uploading? I don't know why it's taking so long. Okay, so it can actually generate audio. Okay, you can see here it is generating, and then of course it will take a bit of time. So it will generate podcasts. Okay, in the podcast, you can decide how many people you want to listen to. Is it just one person, or you can have like a podcast conversation, two people? And one good thing about the Notebook LM is that you can actually interrupt them. Okay, while they are talking with the podcast, you can actually ask them question, where you can type in the question, or you can just, you can, if you have the on your mobile, so someone's doing something. Can you all still hear me? I think someone's drilling. Okay. You can ask question. You can stop the podcast. You can ask question, you can type in, or you can just ask question verbally. Okay. This is generating. I think my internet is a bit slow today.
Okay. I've got a
Yes.
question.
Yes.
I tried using it.
Yes.
In just let's say I used to generate infographics, and then suddenly I think this week I tried to do something, and then I got a message. A message that said kat bawah ni that's generating is generating, and then I got a message that said failed.
Oh.
And then I Googled, and they said something like it is Notebook LM no longer sort of supports free users. So my question is, are you've subscribed to Pro, or is this just the normal user punya?
Okay. Okay. I think that's why we are technically, we are not the free user again, because if you log in to your
Mm-mm.
Google account, we are
Mm-mm.
not free. We are not free user.
Mm.
Okay, maybe you need to check whether your browser is actually connected to your work, to your IIUM email or not. Because IIUM, definitely we are not free user, because the government, well, at least Malaysian government, I know that Malaysian government has paid Google for us to use this. I think that could be the issue, or the problem that you have. Is it have you
Is it because of the latest message that we are supposed to do some kind of logging
authentication? No,
logging
not that,
in?
not that one.
Not
I
that
don't.
one.
Not that one. That one is a different just authentication, simple app that we need to
Oh,
now.
so I did log in using my IIUM, the
Oh,
Google
okay.
supported thingy, but I need to check whether it took such a long time to generate,
Yeah,
unlike
this one
the first
also.
time I did it, sekejap je. So, and then eventually it stated fail. I don't know why.
Okay.
But I can try again nanti.
Yeah, this is the same here. So I'm not sure whether because this is taking so long because normally, well, normally I use this at night. Maybe I think it's my connection, but normally it wouldn't take this long. Most of the time, we will talk about the audio generating. It only take about a minute or two only. Okay, and that's why I'm not very sure. I think now is the problem with my connection. Okay, or maybe there's a issue with the payment or what's the payment with the paid user as well. I think we have to check with the ITD, I think.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. All right. So this is audio overview. So the another one is a video overview. This is fantastic. I just tried this morning. Okay. So this is what they have done. I'm going to open this. Let me know if you can watch. Can you? Okay, I'm going to play this. This is just for this is coming from the 49 papers that I have uploaded. They created this video, which is fantastic. You can always upload it to your to your learning module online, or maybe you have YouTube, definitely as something that you can do. Okay, so I'm going to play this and let me know if you can hear the voice or not.
So get this. What if the very thing that helps you learn the most at university is also the thing that makes you the least happy? It sounds like a total paradox, right? But it's a conflict that's right at the heart of how we measure success in higher education. Today, we're going to dive into the data and really unpack the surprising tension between what it takes to learn and what it takes to, well, like your experience. You know, we're all pretty obsessed with data-driven decisions these days, whether we're picking a university or trying to figure out how well it's doing. But what happens when our main sources of data, like learning outcomes on one hand and student satisfaction on the other, are telling us two completely different stories? That's exactly what we're going to dig into. Yeah.
Okay, so this is just a very it's about 6 minutes, almost 7 minutes. This is actually the video I showed you just now, based on the PDF on the papers that I have uploaded. Okay, so definitely this is something that you can do. Perhaps something that you can do for your student, or maybe just for your learning. You can upload one paper and then ask it to come up with a video because at the end of the day, some of us are actually visual learners, some of us are actually audio learner. So there's something that definitely can help in term of how we understand the papers. Okay, again, we talk about a lot of papers that we are reading. Sometimes we need this kind of help for us to actually really understand the topic that we are looking for. And I think a lot of us here are actually lecturers, are teachers. So definitely this is something that we can make use of, okay, especially for our teaching and learning as well. It's not just limited to our research. It's something that definitely we can do for our teaching and learning. And students nowadays, they may need a different approach. They may not be able to sit down and listen to us. Okay. And other than that, so this is another one that I have actually generated earlier on. Okay, so this is just a simple infographic. So this infographic is actually generated using the 49 papers that I have uploaded. Okay, so they just this one they talk about self-assessment, driving learning, and student satisfaction. Okay, and they talk about all of the issue, the highlight what are the important aspect of the 49 papers. Okay, and of course they would actually sort of like summarize as well as synthesize, okay, the papers. They look into what are the similarities, what are the difference, and then they can highlight all of this. Okay, this is actually fantastic, definitely fantastic for our maybe not so much in terms of the writing for your thesis. Okay, but I think this is actually fantastic if you want to use it for your teaching, or maybe just for you if you're visual, again, if you're visual learners, you want to remember something using this kind of infographic. This is something definitely that you can make use. Okay. And other than that, you can also make a mind map based on the paper. Okay, so this is the mind map that are created. So this is not exactly that what I want to do. Okay, but you can take a look at how it has been this is created by the AI, the notebook LM. So if you click on this, they actually will expand more, and then they will expand more. Okay, you see, this is fantastic, right or not? So definitely this is something that will help our understanding, especially when you want to connect one idea to another. Okay, so definitely there are a lot of things that we can do. Okay, so when we talk about, this is the paper that I've done on the conceptions of feedback, the student conceptions of feedback. Okay, so these are the factors under the COF. Okay, so this is another example, I think, a fantastic examples that we can do. Okay, and so far I have done these three, and the audio is taking forever. Okay, another thing that I think fantastic, which I haven't actually tried, but this is the data table. Okay, the data table, this is actually really good, especially when you are doing, if you want to do meta-analysis. Okay, quantitative meta-analysis. All right, so I'm not sure whether you're familiar with meta-analysis. I'm familiar with the idea of meta-analysis, but I personally have never carried out any research using meta-analysis. Okay, meta-analysis, technically you are running new research using data from existing papers or published research. Okay, so that is the idea there. How exactly to do it? Uh, I'm not very sure, because again, this is a quantitative. I am more of a qualitative person, but definitely the data table here can be used. You can make use of the papers existing, and then you can create the data table, and from the data table, definitely you can run the analysis using SPSS. So that is my understanding. And other than that, okay, so of course, flashcard, quizzes, this is something that slide deck as well. Slide deck is actually the PowerPoint, okay, presentation, something that you can create maybe for your teaching and learning as well. And later on, perhaps, during your Viva, you can use the slide deck, okay, to create the presentation for your Viva. Now, I think that it's only 4:30. Okay, and this is about the features in the Notebook LM that you can use. Oh, it's already here. It's ready. Now, I'm going to play a little bit. Okay, so this is interactive mode. Okay, so what are options? Okay, there's not much of option there, but let's listen to this a little, maybe 1 minute, and then I can show you how it is done using the audio podcast.
Welcome back to the deep dive. Today we are wrestling with a ghost in the machine of
Can you hear it?
It's a tension that exists in the mind of every single student trying to learn something new, whether it's calculus or coding. But it also scales up to this massive multi-billion-dollar economy of higher education.
Right, it's this tension between feeling like you're learning and actually.
Yeah,
And well, those two things are very rarely the same.
exactly. We're asking a really fundamental question. How do we know if education is actually working? Like, on one hand, you have the micro view, the student alone, asking, do I really get this?
And then on the other hand, you've got the macro view. Universities asking millions of students, are you satisfied with the product we sold you?
And the answer,
Okay, if you click on the interaction, so you can actually stop them and ask them questions. Okay.
welcome back to the deep dive. Today, we are wrestling with a ghost, machine of education. It's a tension that exists in the mind of every single student trying to learn something new, whether it's calculus and coding, but it also scales up to this massive multi-billion-dollar economy of higher education.
Right, it's this tension between feeling like you're learning and actually learning. And well, this is very rarely.
Exactly. We're asking a really fundamental question. How do we know if education is actually, on one hand, you have the money there.
Hello, hi.
Thoughts on this?
Yeah, I have questions. What do you think about student satisfactions in terms of the feedback they receive on their own learning? Is there any research done on that?
That is a phenomenal question.
And honestly, it cuts right to the heart of our discussion.
Yeah, we absolutely have research on that.
And the research shows a major disconnect.
Right. Student satisfaction with feedback is consistently lower than almost any other element of their education.
It's the weakest link in the chain, actually.
We're diving into a huge UK study later.
Okay, so you can see that I hope you all can hear it, because I cannot I don't see any issue. Okay, so this is how we can use with the podcast. You know, some of us actually very busy. Me myself, sometimes I drive to the campus, and then like that's the only time that we can actually listen to this kind of podcast. We can ask it to turn into podcast, and if you are connected to the internet, you can actually stop, and then you can ask question, and then they reply to you verbally as well. Okay, so this is the fantastic use of the notebook LM. Okay, and I think I have covered the tools that are available for you to use in this notebook LM. And then again, how to, if you look into this one, I'm going to make it smaller here, and okay, so that it's bigger here. Okay, so when you have uploaded your papers, so you will get this kind of summary, and then from down here, they will ask you some questions. You say ask question, but then these are some of the suggested questions that you can ask. If you want to ask, you just click on it, and then they will answer your question. Okay, but then again, you can always go to specific questions that you have. Okay, so this is one of the questions that I have that I've actually shown to my student. What is the analysis used in these studies? Okay, and then they will explain to you all the analysis and then the methodology being used. Okay, this is fantastic if you want to highlight the gap in terms of the methodology. Okay, in the previous paper. All right, and then so for example here, this is another one that I've done with my students. Suggest simpler analysis if a UG undergraduate student would like to replicate this study. Okay, this study is actually specific to one study only. Okay, you remember when I talk about this part, when I talk about this one, so you can actually untick all, and then you can specify which paper that you want to use. You want to have discussion. So these two questions actually related to one of the questions. Okay, so and of course this is actually the instrument that I have used. I can't really remember which one I used for the anchor paper that I have. Okay, that's why we have you can ask them the specific questions. Okay, and of course they will give you suggestions over here, and then here this is another one, concrete research plan for the UG student to replicate the studies, and then they will give you, and then okay, again, like I mentioned earlier on, you must always read whatever being given to you and really understand and be critical whether it is applicable or not for you to use. Okay, how is it going to be within your research scope? How is it going to be in terms of the methodology? Is it doable for you? Do you have access to the to the data, okay, or to the respondent or participant? Okay, so these are some of the suggestions. Okay, so this is another questions. Okay, Aspen et al. Okay, so this is another one using the instrument specific. So there are a lot of questions that you can ask. Okay, and again, they will give you a lot of items. This is categorized items in instrument into the respective factors. Okay, and then when I check, I found that there are items that are repeated. Okay, and then over here, they mention about that. Okay, and then here I mentioned, I question the feedback given. Okay, you mentioned 32 items categorized. Okay, 5 primary factors, but you give me 6 factors. Okay, so you ask question, which one is a non-primary factor? Is it independent? Is it dependent variable factor? So these are the explanation given. Okay, so these are the explanation given, and then they like to give analogy, which is I don't find, yeah, it's interesting, but I don't find that very helpful anyway. Okay, and then again about the instrument as well. There are missing items from the list. Which one are there? Why did you exclude them? So they give me all of this, why the items are excluded as well. Okay, now I say ignoring the paper. Okay, so again we talk about the research plan. Okay, so these are some of the fantastic things that you can do. So if you want to if you want to ask questions, there are a lot of questions you can ask. Okay, you get a lot of questions that you can ask them. Okay, so for example, you want to write literature review based on the 49 papers that you have. Okay, so again, don't ask the AI to write for you. Please don't ask the AI to write for you, because 50 papers is not enough for your literature review. Definitely, you need more than that. So how you can use the 49 paper at this level? We talk about the earlier level here, yeah. So what you can do is that you can ask it, okay, based on the 49 papers, categorize them into topics for the literature review, for the LR. Okay, so let's see what is the response to this. Okay, they will scan the text. It will only answer based on the papers that you have. Okay, so you can get this one, the topics for your literature review, and from there you can actually make use of you can go and find more papers, and you can create a new notebook, and then from there you can actually do a lot more. There is one examples of how you can do your literature review. Okay, so this is yes. So topic number one, so these are the topic, okay, that you can do for your literature review. Okay, so the theoretical foundation, self-regulated learning. Okay, so this is the first one. Okay, these are based on the papers. Okay, and then the topic number two, student conceptions of feedback and assessment. Okay, and then the topic number three here, you have student satisfaction and perception. And then topic number four, feedback literacy. Again, there will a lot of topics that they can suggest to you. Okay, there are six topics. Methodological references. Maybe this is not something that you want to do, but for example here, alternative practices. So this is something that you can take in if you're doing this topic lah. Okay, so what I'm doing here is actually to show you that how you can categorize. Okay, it is a very good for you to start thinking about, okay, what should I include in my LR? What are the subtopic that I must have in my LR, in my chapter 2, okay, for the literature review, right? Okay, so it's fantastic. You can take a look at being given. And remember, again, I talk about what you give, whatever they give, the response they give will be based on the paper that you have uploaded. You can take a look at this one. So here I give you number 19 here. So this is exactly where it gets the idea. Again, this is not something that the AI make up. Okay, because if you ask Gemini, you have a Copilot, if you ask ChatGPT especially, they will just make up some some ideas, okay? But it is not based on any specific concrete reference or evidence. So you will definitely, like everything that they give you, they'll be based on this is actually from the table. Okay, so based on the paper that you have uploaded. Okay, and well, we have less than 20 minutes to go. I think I should stop here to give way to Dr. Sam. But what I hope that you go and explore. You have to explore this. Okay, you open your Google browser, and then you just go for the Notebook LM, and then you can explore this. There are a lot of things that you can do. For example, here you talk about the framework components. I actually ask it to draw the framework, but of course, like I have to copy paste this in using a different application to come up with the framework. But these are definitely something that you can do. Okay, this is the draw, and then like previously I asked the appropriate theoretical framework. Okay, and then, so these are all based on the 49 papers that I have uploaded. Definitely, it's not enough 49. Sometimes, again, if you have ideas about the topic that you have, okay, the subtopic, based on the subtopics that you have, you can create one notebook each, and then from there you have a better analysis of the paper. And I would like to remind you as well, like I think earlier on, I can't remember who was it, but mentioned about how far can you use AI? Okay, again, like I mentioned, you can use AI for idea generating, but not for the writing. Okay, be careful with the writing, and also be careful as well related to the use of AI to check your English, your writing, Grammarly, for example, because nowadays, Turnitin can actually detect that. I had not say one, I had a few, a lot of students, but then this one particular student, I know the student did the work. Okay, because we had consultations over and again, the ideas was theirs, and they have the idea what to do, and then they do the writing themselves. But the issue was that once they have done with their writing, they actually upload it to Grammarly, ask the Grammarly to check for the grammar. Okay, of course, the Grammarly can help with the grammar and whatnot, but the problem is that once the student submitted to turn it in, although the similarity index is below 25%, but the AI detection, okay, you have to remember there are two parts of the AI detection. Number one is the AI generated, another one is AI paraphrase. Okay, for the AI part, both of it, they got 100%. Okay, although the similarity is only 9%, but the AI detection, AI generated content, they got 100%. Okay, so that is the dilemma that we have as lecturer. Are we going to let this go? Are we going to get the student to rewrite? How are we going to do? Okay, but then again, it's always go back to your, it's your prerogative. Well, it's our prerogative as lecturer to decide how are we going to take this issue with this one. But at PhD level, I think it's very important for you to do the writing yourself. Okay, and relying so much on AI is not really good actually, because at the end of the day, you have to remember, again, I mentioned early on, these are only tools, but you are the one who going to do the thinking. Okay, I think before I stop, do you have any question from anyone perhaps related to notebook
There
LM?
is one question asking about whether you can use Malay or Arabic in the podcast.
Yes, you can actually. Okay, you can actually. No, not this one. You can actually. Definitely you can change. All right. So I'm not. I think it is actually under. For your information, Google, Gemini, as well as Notebook LM, they are now doing in world major languages, including Bahasa Melayu, including Arabic, French, as well as Spanish. They do actually. Okay, and I think it is depending on the input that the papers the sources that you upload. Okay, and I'm not very sure how to change here, this one, you see here. Okay, so for example, for the podcast just now, you click on this the pen, the pencil here. So here you have the English language. So for example, maybe you want to change to Arabic. Do we have Arabic? Bahasa Indonesia. Why is it not Arabic? It's not here. It's supposed to be here. Oh, maybe something. What's that? Urdu. This is Urdu.
Al-Arabiyah. Tuh, atas tuh, second one.
The second one, this one kan?
Hmm.
Okay. So, you can, and then of course, you can actually you can type in to focus on the certain things that you want to focus. And definitely they can actually produce that. For example, here just maybe we just on the definition. Okay, and then you can generate. You can see I don't know how long it take. I think maybe just because it will take a bit of time, okay, to do this. Okay, and definitely you have the podcast, and you can change the languages as well. Okay. All right. I think this will take a while. I don't want to take more time, but is there any more question?
I think we push the question to the end, if you don't mind.
Okay. Yeah, sure. Okay,
Okay.
thank you. I'm going to stop sharing. Okay, thank you very much, everyone. I pass to Dr. Sam then. All right.
Okay, just give me a second. I'll share my screen. Okay, so I've got a lot of things on my screen right now. Okay, first of all, I think I'll just go through very quickly on consensus. So consensus is basically an AI which is very similar to many AI. However, there is some differences. Consensus is basically focused on academic. So the references that you get are based on authentic papers or real papers, not made up papers. So, so this is how consensus looks like. I'll just copy and paste the address in the Zoom chat for you to check it out. Just a moment. Okay. Never mind. I'll do that later. Okay. Anyhow, so this is basically, I would say, the first step you should be taking when you want to do your research. Let's say you are starting a PhD and you basically want to know a certain area, or you want to know a certain scope of study, just to get some basic ideas. And you want to get this based on real papers, not made up papers. As what Dr. Khairil shared just now, in Google LM, you have to know your papers already. You have to identify your papers already. But for consensus, it helps you to have several reference points. So okay, I'll just demonstrate to you. I'll be using the free version. If you want to pay, you want to subscribe, it is up to you. You can go direct, or you can use other sources, which I'm not supposed to say anyway. But however, yes, you can go and subscribe for the premium one, and it will produce better results. In the sense that you will get more references which you can use. Okay, so just to demonstrate, I'll just broadly ask about my area of research. Okay, so I'll just simply tell me about, let's say, tourism ethnocentrism. Okay, so what this consensus will do, they will process, and you will get results almost instantly. So like what Dr. Khairil said earlier on, you are not supposed to cut and paste all this as your work. It functions as a tool for you to start your research. You can actually read. So when I type, tell me about tourism ethnocentrism, Zap. Okay, you will have reference papers, and these papers are real papers. Okay, so if you go to, you can see this logo here. You could just hover it, and they will give you a little bit of description what paper this is about. So if you go down a little bit further, it tells you about the concept, the definition, okay, and all of this are supported by studies, real studies. So this is actually helpful in that sense. You won't get sampah papers or papers which are not real. Okay, so you can actually ask questions on this track, you can ask further. Okay, they will again will provide answers like, okay, for example, this one gives you about the measurement constructs, antecedents, moderators, how it shapes behaviors. Okay, let's say I want to look into, let's say, whether state, whether this consumer, this tourism ethnocentrism is being done in, let's say, Malaysia. So if this is a free version, it is not as sophisticated as the paid version, but it is. I mean, it does the job. I think it is limited for like 10 questions or 5 questions. I'm not sure. I can't remember. Anyway, this gives you a little bit of some idea what it can do and how powerful it is. So there you go. So this is helpful for your problem statement. It is also helpful for your literature review. When you want to mix your concepts together, it will help you in that sense. But then again, don't take it, like that. You have to adjust. You have to change it according to your words and how you understand that. Okay, as you can see, you have the references here. A good explanation whether it is being done in Malaysia or not. Okay, so this is what consensus can do for you. They can actually, give you a little bit of indication whether you want to do a literature review or not. And if you do, if you click this one, let's see what happens. They will do it for you, actually. But then again, it is not ethical for you to do copy and paste. Okay, that would require some time, if you can see here. Okay, so there is no reason for you not to know how to do literature review, not to know how to get good problem statements, because the tools are all here. All you need to know is to ask the right questions and how to tie them together. This is relating to what Dr. Fiza said earlier. Okay, as you can see on the right hand side, it is processing. So you can get a lot of papers, more probably, if you are using the paid one. Okay, so anyhow, I think you can actually try that yourself. Okay, again, it is consensus.app. Just try it out, and you'll be amazed how fast it is. And once you got all your papers, you can use Google LM, Google Notebook LM, to work around the borders or limitations. Okay, so basically, this is for you to try. What is more important is that I want to show you Mendeley. Okay, Mendeley is basically a software where you can actually, it's a reference manager. It manages your references and citations. It helps you change your format of citation if you need to. It helps you to stay organized. It will save you a lot of time rather than manually typing all these citations and references. And let's say if you have to change your citation format into maybe Harvard, not APA, or some other formats, it can be done fairly quickly. So there are many what do you call this, options. So Mendeley is one of many. They have Zotero, they have a couple more, but I'm quite familiar with Mendeley, so I'm recommending this one. So what it does is basically this. I'll show you where to download this. Okay. 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 So you go to Mendeley. So it is mendeley.com, a reference manager. Register yourself, download the app, and download that for your computer. So once that is already up and running in your computer, you need to link it up with your Words software. Okay, so this is where you can get your apps from. Okay, you can also access your database online if you want. Okay, so this is syncing. It is in sync with the ones you have in your computer and the one you have in the cloud. So this is basically good if you are on the move and you have your computers. If you are on the move. Anyway, okay, so you can see that Mendeley has also got AI function in it, but I'm not going to cover that one. So I'm just showing you how this one works. Okay, just a second. Okay, so once you have downloaded your Mendeley, what you need to do is turn your Words software on, and then go to references. Okay, and you will have to launch the add-in. So this, you have to click on reference, and this button here, Mendeley's site, will come out. You click on it, and the right hand side function, this box here, will come up, and you can actually access your references from this box here. So, okay, I'll just quickly do a demonstration. Okay, so let's say tourism is a good thing to do. So this is how you cite it. Okay, let's say you can just take any one of it or any two of it and go click, and there you go. So it's done automatically, and you can go on writing. And here, and let's say you want to find, let's say, what's his name? I'll put my name again. Okay. Okay, so I'll choose this one. So there you go. Yeah, so it is quick, and you don't really have to worry about the format. It is done automatically. So the next step is to put the bibliography or the references. So, okay. So go to this button. Okay, so it is done automatically. So that's it. So as you add on, your references will also be added on. Like that. See, it is updating itself automatically. So if you want to change, let's say, whether you want to change it into Harvard or something else, this is where you can do it, So you can change it to Emerald or Set Them Right or whatever formats that you want. Okay, so that is done. So this is how the software looks like. So you can read it. Okay, it manages your papers. So as you read, you can highlight, whichever part you think you want to highlight. Okay, like that, for example. Okay, and you can also use the read function, which is based on AI. You can change or update. You can put a little bit of notes to your article. Okay, so it's got a lot of functions. Go and try it out. So other than that, what is important is Okay, try to turn this one off. Let me see. Okay, let's go to the library. So it is a quick management software, so you can actually look at what kind of articles you have already. Okay, the question that you may ask is, how do I get the articles into the database? Okay, it's quite easy. So if you want to write, let's say you want to find a specific author, just search in the box up here and press enter. You will get a list of articles which probably can be based on author, can be based on keywords, and so on. So there is an advanced search here which you can actually use. So whether you want exact phrases or you want certain things to be excluded, you can use those functions there. So okay, so how do you actually add this one? Very easy. Okay, you press this button here. Okay, import files. So you can import your files. You can go to wherever you keep your files. Select one. Okay, select one. And it will upload itself to the database. Depending on the size, it could take some time. Otherwise, it takes a few seconds. This one's a big, large file, so it may take some time. Anyway, if you want to do it automatically, okay, you have to select this one, watch folder. So what it does is basically it automatically focus on one particular folder in your computer. So whenever you download any documents, any articles, you put it in there, and Mendeley will automatically capture this and upload into your database automatically. So as for me, I already have a special drive in my Google Drive. I put it as articles for Mendeley. So whenever I download articles, it goes in there and it will be captured automatically by Mendeley. So it saves a lot of time. Okay, so as you can see here, you can actually change according to what year you want it to be, what kind of source, whether it is based on author's name. You can actually change the metadata, the data, if you want to, sort it based on the recency. You can also do that. And yes, I think that is all. Okay, do you have any question that you want to ask with regards to Mendeley or consensus or Dr. Fiza or Dr. K's areas? Anybody, do you have any questions? Otherwise, this is just a very quick one. Anything? Anyone? Any questions? Okay, so can we ask Mendeley just like we ask Notebook? Yes and no. Okay, yes and no. Why? Because let's say yes and no, they can do that, but it is only limited to 5 questions because it is free. If you want more questions, then you have to upgrade here. Kan. However, I think with Google Notebook, you can just put all this into your Google LM, Notebook LM, and you can ask questions there. I also recommend Google Gemini with this because although it is only limited to, I think, like 5 articles maybe, or 10 articles per shot, you can use Google Gemini as well, based on the article that you want. So you can upload that and ask questions based on that one. But again, Google Gemini. I'm quite okay with that, but I'm having doubts with ChatGPT. However, I've done a little bit of checks on the references recommended by Gemini. One or two references are quite doubtful. They are good ones. They are good ones. So just be careful when you use Gemini. I'm quite comfortable with uh, consensus, and I think if you use it hand in hand with Notebook LM, I think you'll be in good hands. Okay, so other than that, I've shown you this. Any questions before we close our session? Ada soalan? Okay. For no, yes. Okay, yes. Yes, thank you, Dr. K. Any questions pertaining to Dr. K's or Dr. Fiza's session? We've already reached our designated time. We've passed that actually. Any questions before we go? Okay. All right. Okay. So since there are no more questions, if you do have any questions, just reach out to me or Dr. K or Dr. Fiza. Okay. So thank you very much for being here. Thank you for your attention. I hope this is helpful for you, and we hope to have more workshops. Just let us know. We'll do our best to help. And I've already shared the attendance and survey questionnaire. Could you please answer that one? Also, I've put up the links for KSTCL YouTube channel, and we'll put up this video there soon, inshallah. And also some links linking to notebook or even consensus. Yeah, okay, consensus.ai. Okay, so I think that will be all. Dr. K, do you have anything else to add on? Or Dr. Fiza, do you have anything else you want to add on?
No, I don't have anything at on, but I hope everyone can make use of the tool. And always remember, like I mentioned, they are only tools. At the end of the day, you are the one with the brain. Okay, thank you.
Yes, that's right.
Right. And yes, you can use AI to be your devil's advocate for your thesis writing. But at the end of the day, you've got to know and prepare yourself for the real viva, because now examiners are more than ever aware of the discrepancies between what you write and what you say during the viva. So if you miss that, that means it can be problematic. But all the same, good luck to everybody.
Right. Okay, so thank you very much, everyone, for being here. Thank you, Dr. K. Thank you, Dr. Afiza, for being our presenter today. So let's finish our session with ours. Okay, Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Thank you, everyone. We'll see you again sometime in the future, inshallah. Thank you. Assalamualaikum.
Waalaikumsalam. Thank you.
Okay, thanks.